KMES English Medium Junior College welcome its students for the online lecture of philosophy. First Gender Duel. Chapter 6. Following the Path of Art. For the topic Introduction and Aesthetic and Artistic Perspective. Students, Chapter 6, Following the Path of Art consists of the following subtopics. Introduction to Following the Path of Art, Aesthetic or Artistic Perspective, Aesthetic Experience, does beauty really exist or appear, the nature of art, artistic process and the form of art, objects of art and the scientific perspective. In today's lecture we would be looking at the first two things, that is introduction and artistic and artist perspective. Introduction. It is known that the idea of happiness is different for everyone. What is happiness and where it comes from? However, majority would agree that everybody seeks pleasure. So, pleasure, happiness, joy, bliss, all these words describe the experiences and the state of mind we would like to have. What makes it possible for us to have such experience? We attain pleasure in many ways, in many forms. It is always pleasing to relish tasty spicy snacks in the kitchen. Our happiness knows no bounds when Indian team win the World Cup. It brings great happiness to us when we meet an old friend after a long time. What a great fun it is to help a young lad in the neighborhood to ride a bicycle. We help a person with special need to cross the road, and that is a special joy. It is a gratifying feeling when we see our parents happy with our success. In other words, our idea of happiness is related with our abilities and our qualities. Human ability to appreciate and create beauty is a very special one. This does not mean that they are absent in other organisms. Beaver built a fine nest, spider knit web, birds crick, insects crawl on the sand to leave the pattern behind them. But are they capable of appreciating these and as beauty? We cannot say. We can however say at the moment that human consciousness is more evolved than other organisms, and humans have awareness of awareness. Thus their perception of beauty be different than other beings. In open and new world of aesthetic and artistic experience to them, human can experience happiness beyond the satisfaction of basic needs. It is the form of pleasure or joy. A blossom, dedicated fragrant flower, the colorful sky at the time of sunset, deep roar of the sea, sweet creeping of the bird, thundering and lightning that illustrate darkness, storm that make treetop bend and touch the ground. We witness many such attractive forms of nature. We are delighted by these experiences, sometimes feel excited, sometimes astonished, sometimes speechless. We call these experiences as aesthetic experience. They include the experience of both natural as well as man-made beauty. Art and the art-related practice. Despite human love for beauty and their capability to create too, artists Aesthetic is the branch of philosophy that studies aesthetic and artistic experience in depth. The concepts of beauty and the art have been part of philosophical discourse since a long time. Aesthetic as a branch of philosophy emerged only in 18th century. German philosopher Baumgarten used the term aesthetic for the first time for such study. The word has its root in Greek term astronomia. Astronomia means sensory experience, whereas aesthetic means sensory experience and feeling, emotion created through it. He defined aesthetic as a branch which studies aesthetic experience. Kant differentiated ethical experience and the experience of sensory pleasure from aesthetic experience. This provides philosophical base to aesthetic. Three different perspectives. Our relationship with the surrounding is manifold. We relate with it through many channels such as sensory experience, feeling and emotions, intellect, thought, reasoning, imagination, action, evaluation, etc. Our experience with the world is rooted in three different perspectives. These three different perspectives are cognitive perspective, practical perspective and aesthetic perspective. Cognitive perspective. It highlights the nature of man as a knower. This knower wants to know about the origin of the universe, its nature and function. The knower is interested in knowing how many types of things are there in the world. What are they made up of? What kind of change do they go through? Which law principle govern this change? And such more. As we saw, science and philosophy originate from the same sense of wonder. System of understanding the world evolved. Development of technology enabled us to create instruments that reveal the unknown aspect of the world. The knower used these instruments as a natural observer. There is no place for the feeling of emotion, imagination, sensitive and the value in this experience. When you conduct an experiment in a laboratory, your personal likes, dislikes, emotion, mental state have no value there. All that matter is the subject of experience. Likewise, individual has no importance in the knowledge-centric perspective. The subject matter that is objective and object and the phenomena and interrelationship among them are important. Second type of perspective is practical perspective or utilitarian perspective. This perspective focuses on what is useful in life. Organism has a basic instinct to live and flourish, and so does human. Thus we are constantly in search of what is useful to us and what is not. It is not just a sense of wonder or quest of knowledge that inspires us to do so. It is the basic biological instinct. In the process of evolution and in social cultural development, this instinct is also linked with the development of science and technology. Technological efficiency increases manifold when it is coupled with scientific knowledge. Accordingly, comfort goods also increase. Knowledge-centric and utilitarian perspective complement each other. Useful instruments enhance knowledge, and enhanced knowledge develop our understanding of what is useful and what is not. Both this perspective classify objects and phenomena in nature in their own way. There are innumerable objects in the universe. Several phenomena occur in it. They are classified on the basis of similarity among them. Knowledge-centered perspective tries to seek the connection between the object and the phenomena of the law that govern them. The law are capable to every object and phenomena in its preview. Such typological representation is more important to knowledge-centric perspective than the actual existence of an object with all its particularities. Utilitarian perspective classifies objects on the basis of their utility, that is the function they perform. According to this perspective, objects are basically instruments. In order to make an object, first it is use is determined. Then it is decided how to make the object with what material and form, etc. Multiple types of objects are made for the same basic substance. Many things are made of wood, but their patterns are different. A chair, a table, a bench. Classifying all these objects according to their usage is a utilitarian perspective. Whereas identifying them as an object made from wood and then categorizing them separately from object made up of plastic or metal is known as knowledge-centered perspective. Another perspective that is different from the above-mentioned perspective through which we not only experience objects but also the world is an aesthetic perspective. This perspective does not inquire into what the object is made of, which law governs it, what is its function, what is its use, etc. Significance is given to the object of experience and the person experiencing it. Object classification is immaterial from this perspective. This perspective makes it possible to experience nature and object without having any specific purpose to begin with. It lets the sensation and image emerge in the mind in the way in which they actually emerge. What is significant is in this experience is the specific nature of the object that is experienced and of a person who is experiencing. Artistic perspective is interested in experiencing various form, type of nature, particular object, individual and social life with their particularity. Aesthetic perspective has a special significance in philosophy. We have studied metaphysics, epistemology and ethics as a branch of philosophy. The qualities such as human sensitivity, imagination, creativity, emotionality and other such remain on the periphery in all these branches. Aesthetics study these qualities and enrich our understanding of human. It does not study the non-human aspect of existence, merit for it, bearing upon human existence, but also reflect upon shared experience of existence and its impact on individual states of mind. Aesthetics presents a very different view of objects, people, relationships, phenomena that we experience. Thus we are able to connect with pure existence of things, recognizing their particularity and value, which are beyond human utilitarian perspective. Through this, we indirectly learn to acknowledge and appreciate the existence of a particular object. In aesthetic perspective, non-human existence, nature does not remain an isolated existence. It becomes an integral part of human sensitivity, imagination and thought. Human sensitivity is creative, bring out novel aspects of nature and also inspire us to understand the manifested existence beyond what is generally known. Aesthetic perspective generates a possibility of experiencing nature not as a mere study object or as a useful resource. It enables man to understand that things have their own essential value. It presents things when nature and human are looked at as a mere resource. This awareness is also most important. It gives us a different viewpoint to look at ourselves, our society, living and non-living world beyond ecocentric or human-centric understanding of things. The aesthetic experience of a common man and the artistic creation of an art object stem from these very viewpoints. Let's study with an example. A man in nature brings many things. A man walk in nature brings many different things to our notice. Imagine a group of friends is on a picnic and they find a pile of stone. What kind of response would it generate? Who laid this stone here? Somebody who may get curious. A geological student may recall what he has studied about the rock, its different its types and its geology. Some may find a stone as an obstacle on the trail. Some may use it to sit it down. Some may start thinking what can be made with this stone. So these are the different perspectives in which the people look at the stone. Artistic perspective. Seeing a pile of stone lying on the bank, some may spot a beautiful pattern in the rock. A light and shadow play may interest a few. Glass of rock particle may blossom somebody. Its soft touch might be appealing to some. An artist may think of making a sculpture out of it. When a sculpture work on a stone or an artistic design, a structure of a monument, he realized the potential in stone, its ability to withstand extremities of season. He also experienced how rock manifests itself in bright light, twilight, the light proclaiming, go through clouds, darkening, evening, etc. Through the feeling expressed by the image, idol created by the sculpture, the material is inanimate stone as a living, dynamic and positive existence. This is how essential values of nature, of every phenomena in nature of objects like stone are revealed through work of art. This awareness is important aspect of culture. Like stone, which is a natural object, we also take man-made objects such as table from granted in our day-to-day life. An artistic make us aware of them too, through expression and image related to this. Imagine you are looking at a painting. A table is drawn on a canvas. There are few papers on the table and eyeglasses removed from the eye. This image might study, emulate our memory to our grandfather or our grandmother, getting up from the table just after scrubbing something. You may also recall your favorite author, a philosopher or even a leader. This image of paper and glasses make evoke the memories and emotions.